A quick look at one-point perspective. To begin, we have to create a horizon line. Horizon line is where the ground meets the sky. For one-point perspective, we're going to have one vanishing point. A vanishing point is where back in the distance it gets so small that you can no longer see it. I'm going to create 3 different rectangular prisms on this paper to show you how we can make them 3-dimensional and make sense in our space, the perspective. To begin, my first one's going to be in the right upper hand corner. I've got to make each corner come back to this single vanishing point. I'm going to use yellow to create a guideline. When creating an artwork, this guideline would be imaginary. You could use a pencil to begin and then erase it when you're done, but I'm going to use a different color. That way you can see it and you don't have to worry about getting confused. For my first guideline, I'm matching up my ruler to the outside left corner and connecting it to the vanishing point, and I'm going to repeat that process for the bottom right hand corner as well as the bottom outside corner. Because this rectangular prism is above our horizon line, we will be able to see the bottom and the left side of the rectangular prism, but not the back, left, or top. Using my pink pen, because I know now that this is exactly where I want my line to be and it's going to stay permanent, I can trace back over the lines and create all the faces of the rectangular prism that can be seen. The first line is parallel to my original side of my rectangular prism, meaning I'm just going to take my ruler and slide it over. I'm going to do it again here at the bottom. I'm matching it up and sliding it down until it reaches the corner of the rectangular prism that we just drew, and I'm going to trace over my guidelines where I need to. For my second rectangular prism, I'm going to create it over to the left-hand side of the vanishing point. I'm going to use my yellow pen again to create my guidelines. Remember, if I was doing an actual art piece, this would be a pencil line and I would erase it, I wouldn't keep it. The thing about this rectangular prism that's a little bit different than our first is that the rectangular prism actually goes through my horizon line. So I can only see a firm wall off to the right between it and the vanishing point. Now I'm going to use a dotted line to the other 2 corners to show you what it would look like if this was a transparent or see-through box. Now I'm going to come back in with my pink pen and I'm going to create first my parallel line to the side of my rectangular prism. That's going to give me a new face. And I'm going to trace over my guidelines where it's appropriate. And just to help illustrate that this is a transparent box now, I'm going to come in with an orange colored pencil and lightly go over those vanishing point lines, those guidelines. Again, creating a parallel line and then tracing over the dotted lines where I need to. My third and final rectangular prism is going to be back on the right, but under the horizon line this time. Using my guidelines, I'm going to match up the 3 corners that can be seen to the point. And we're just repeating everything again that we've done with the last 2 rectangular prisms. The big difference here that I want you to see, that because it's underneath the horizon line, you will be able to see the top of the rectangular prism, the side of the rectangular prism, but not the bottom. Unless, of course, it's transparent. And I'm not doing that again. So you're just going to have the top and the left side of the box. So now we have 3 rectangular prisms, one below the horizon line, on the horizon line, and then one above the horizon line.